What is good, guys? In my last video, I mentioned I believe Georgia Tech was gonna make the upset, 27 to 24, and I really wasn't far off. And it turns out the head scratching loss, guys. I was really surprised how good Georgia's defense truly was, And, Florida State waited nearly 250 days to return to the football field after a blowout loss in the Orange Bowl to Georgia, So it was very puzzling to what is happening. So, however, when their debut finally arrived, the Seminoles were missed in action as the ball was kicked off in the stadium on Saturday afternoon. There was an early display of promise after the offense went barreling down the field for a touchdown on the first drive, and they went for 2 points, and then they got 8 points on the first drive, and really after that, they really got shut down. So those hopes were quickly diminished after Georgia Tech responded with a score and a smash mouth running offense that had the Seminoles on their heels throughout the day, So it's like, in the end, the Yellow Jackets' physicality and execution ended up outmatching Florida State. The program was beaten all facets of the game, whether it be performance between the lines or coaching adjustments. The Seminoles looked wide-eyed and hesitant, while Georgia Tech was confident and really cutthroat, if I'm really being real. So, now, instead of starting off the revenge tour with the victory, the team is at the hands of another crushing defeat. Where does Florida State go from here? What will the response look like here on my thoughts of this, head-scratching loss? So the thing is, first of all, Florida State's passing attack has a ton of work to do with DJ. I was surprised, really, how not very confident he was. Coming into this game, one of the main question marks surrounding Florida State's offense was the potential success of the passing game. So, fielding a strong arm quarterback in DJ, he had very speedy receivers as well. So, and the thing was, the expectations were the Seminoles would have a chance to stretch the field. Instead, the majority of DJ's throws in the first half came within 5 yards of a variety of screens, dump off, and really short passes, So it was clear to me after the first drive that Georgia Tech was more than willing to sail out on the run and force DJ to beat them. And he couldn't. DJ overthrew a deep shot to Douglas on what could have been a touchdown, and he missed Malik Benson's long down the sideline on another opportunity for a big play. He did not look his best on Florida State's 15 drive in the fourth quarter. He found Douglas and Benson for conversions, as y'all saw, on 2 fourth down plays, but everything else in between, you wanted a lot more out of a veteran quarterback. There were also different, points where DJ was indecisive, hesitant, or not going through the reads. On a third down incompletion to Darian Williamson in the sideline that might have forced another opportunity for a big play. He did not look his best. So the thing is, there are different points where DJ was indecisive. He was throwing the ball away, failed to recognize, find his receivers down the middle. So it didn't help that Hakeem Williams was out, but only 4 receivers caught a pass for the Seminoles compared to, 3 grabs. So that's what I'm really looking at. So that ended up building DJ's stat line that consisted of a 19-27 for 193 yards with no touchdowns in total. The offense recorded just 291 yards, their fourth straight game dating back to last season, not breaking the 300-yard mark. Something has to change on that offense, So it's very concerning. So Florida State has to make some serious improvements before Boston College comes to town. If not, the running game will truly be open up. The Yellow Jackets just put a perfect game plan on tape for some of Florida State's upcoming opponents to take advantage of. So number two that I noted, the defensive performance was more than concerning. All offseason, we talked about the possibility vaulted defense that Florida State could have fielded in the 2024 this season, and that group had a chance to not take a step back despite losing a ton of talent. That certainly wasn't the case on Saturday, as the Seminoles looked unprepared, unwilling, and uninspired most of their sequences on the field, So Georgia Tech ranked up 336 total yards on offense, including 190 yards on the ground while averaging 6.5 yards per play. Time and time again, the Yellow Jackets easily ran through Florida State's front four, made the linebackers look silly, and worked into the secondary. It was almost like clockwork, and not in a good way for the defenders in Garnet and Gold. So, Patrick Payton, Darnell Jackson, Joshua Farmer, and Marver Jones Jr. were bullied by Georgia Tech's offensive line, which is just not acceptable considering their vast talent. It says a lot about ended up leading the team. Shaheem Brown with 13 tackle, which is more than double the output that the starting defensive line totaled, which was 6. That just shows how many plays reached the second level of the defense, man. So the thing is, the Yellow Jackets converted 5 of their 9 third down attempts, including timely conversions where the defense had opportunities to get off the field. Georgia Tech's converted a 3rd and 5 or longer on all of these scoring drives after the first quarter included 3rd and 12 that led to the go-ahead touchdown to begin the fourth quarter. So, by the way, all of those touchdowns drives came in the end zone as the Yellow Jackets pushed the Seminoles into the end zone. The defense didn't even give up a fight when Georgia Tech got up inside the 10. So the thing was, how does this team really respond with the rest of the season, with 2024? It's the beginning of the season, not looking bright for them. So an obvious thought that I think of, but sure for worth, what I mean to say is bring it to the forefront, considering most of Florida State's leaders departing after last season. There were players across the roster waiting to step up into their place, but now we're finally going to see who is in and who is out. So this is the first time that a specific team filled with 40-plus new players have faced adversity together. So they're really a new team, it seems like. So they're not, they don't have the chemistry down. So is what I'm seeing from that squad today. Will they come together as a team or fall apart and crumble? That remains to be seen, and next week will tell us about the 2024 Seminoles. The season isn't over, especially in the 12-team college football playoff era. There is room to make mistakes and still win it all. Just happened to be that the Seminoles made their error at the beginning of the year. So that leaves like a thin margin for the Florida State team to run, considering there are still 11 games left to play in the regular season. I have no clue how it's going to work out, but the result is going to end up showing the character and the will of the Seminoles. So I think they can fight out of this hole, but it will be an uphill climb. Then again, what's the 5-word phrase Mike Norville likes to throw around? So, it's grit and grind. So, that's my take of what I saw today. Florida State needs work. And what I need to take away is, man, oh man, Georgia Tech, that defense was flying around. That QB was running for his life out there. I give props to the QB and the running back, the wide receivers making good plays out there. So big props to Georgia Tech. I was very impressed how progressed their defense, guys, with that defense. They got a new defensive coordinator. So I think really Georgia Tech is trying to make the rise to the ACC, trying to get back to the ACC championship game. But hey, we'll see. But this will be the end of this episode. We're uploading every day, guys. Hey, this has been fun. I appreciate everyone that's been watching, man. We are absolutely out. If you like this content, just like, subscribe to the channel. I would highly appreciate it. And man, oh man, we are out. See you guys. College football season underway. It was a good one in Ireland, boys. Let's go.